You are not ordinary. And if you can hear these words, it is because God has already stirred something inside you that cannot be silenced. Something ancient yet alive. Something powerful yet unseen, because long before you were born, before your name was spoken by human lips, God placed a weapon inside you that no human hand could ever forge, no enemy could ever steal, and no circumstance could ever destroy. And the tragedy is not that people are weak. The tragedy is that most people never discover what they are carrying while they are fighting life with empty hands. Listen to me with your spirit, not just with your ears, because I am not speaking to your surface. I am speaking to the core of who you are. And I need you to understand this truth deeply and without hesitation. You are not defenseless. You are not powerless, and you are not at the mercy of this world, because God never sends His creation into battle unarmed. And what He has placed within you is not physical, not visible, and not limited by human laws. Yet it is more powerful than any weapon humanity has ever built. The world has taught you to measure power by what can be seen, by what can be touched, by numbers, by money, by position, by influence, by force. But God operates on a higher law, and the weapon you carry does not answer to the systems of this world. It answers only to faith, to obedience, and to alignment with His will. And once this weapon is activated, no opposition can stand, no wall can remain, no darkness can survive. You see, the enemy does not fear your strength, your intelligence, your connections, or your resources. The enemy fears one thing alone, and that is when a human being realizes who they are in God and begins to speak, believe, and move from that place. Because the moment you align your inner world with the authority God has placed inside you, you become unstoppable, not because of who you are, but because of who God is within you. This is why so many battles in your life have felt overwhelming. Not because you lack power, but because you are trying to fight spiritual battles with natural understanding. And when you do that, exhaustion comes. Fear grows, and doubt begins to whisper lies into your mind, telling you that you are weak, that you are late, that you are losing, that it is over. But those whispers are not truth. They are distractions designed to keep you from discovering the weapon God placed inside you. God never intended for you to live reacting to life. He intended for you to speak into life, to shape it, to command it, to call things that do not exist as though they already are. Because words spoken in faith are not sounds, they are forces. And when they are aligned with God's truth, they become weapons that shift reality itself. From the very beginning, God revealed the nature of this weapon because He did not create through struggle. He created through speech. He did not wrestle darkness into submission. He spoke light into existence. And that same creative authority was placed within you, not to make you proud, but to make you effective, not to elevate your ego, but to fulfill His purpose through your life. You have been taught to pray quietly, to believe silently, to hope passively. But God did not design faith to be timid. He designed it to be bold, vocal, and unshakable. Because silence never built a future, and fear never fulfilled a destiny. And when you speak from faith, you are not trying to convince God. You are enforcing what He has already established. The weapon you carry is not activated by emotion. It is activated by conviction. And conviction is born when you stop asking whether God is able and start declaring that God is faithful. Because doubt weakens the hand that holds the weapon, but faith sharpens it, strengthens it, and releases it with precision. Many people are waiting for circumstances to change before they believe, but God is waiting for you to believe so that circumstances can change, because faith does not respond to reality. Reality responds to faith. And this is why those who understand this truth walk differently, speak differently, and face challenges with a calm authority that confuses those who only see the surface. The weapon you carry is not loud in the natural. but it shakes foundations in the unseen. And when you use it, chains break that you never touched, doors open that you never knocked on, and enemies retreat that you never confronted physically. Because the battle was never meant to be fought with fists or force. It was meant to be fought with faith and words aligned with God. You must understand this deeply. Your mouth is not just for communication, it is for creation. And every time you speak, you are either reinforcing limitation or releasing power. There is no neutral ground. And this is why the enemy works tirelessly to influence what you say about yourself, about your future, and about your God, because words spoken consistently become beliefs, and beliefs shape reality. God placed His authority inside you, but He will not force you to use it, because authority without choice is control, and God does not control, He empowers, which means you can live your entire life carrying the most powerful weapon ever given to a human being and never use it if you choose fear over faith. This is why some people pray endlessly and see no change, because prayer without belief is just repetition, but prayer spoken with faith becomes a command in the unseen. And when faith speaks, heaven responds, not because God is slow, but because alignment releases flow. You were never meant to beg God for what He already promised. You were meant to stand in agreement with Him and declare it into existence. Because God does not respond to desperation, He responds to faith. And faith is not hoping something will happen. Faith is knowing it already has. The weapon you carry grows stronger the more you use it, and weaker the more you doubt it. And this is why consistency matters, not perfection. Because every time you choose faith over fear, you are training your spirit to operate at a higher level of authority. Look at your life carefully, and you will see that the greatest victories did not come from moments of ease. They came from moments when everything said you should give up, when logic told you it was impossible, when others walked away, and yet something inside you refused to surrender. That was the weapon stirring, that was faith rising, that was God reminding you of who you are. The enemy cannot stop what God has ordained, but he can delay it if he convinces you to stop believing, because unbelief does not cancel God's power. It only blocks your access to it. And this is why guarding your mind is not optional, it is essential. Your thoughts are the gateway to your faith, and what you allow to dwell there will determine whether the weapon you carry remains dormant or becomes active, because fear is not the absence of faith. It is faith placed in the wrong direction. And when you redirect it toward God, fear loses its grip. God has not given you a spirit of weakness, confusion, or retreat. He has given you clarity, authority, and courage. And those are not emotions, they are positions. And when you stand in them, you stop reacting to life and start ruling over it. Do not misunderstand this. Ruling does not mean controlling people. It means mastering your inner world. Because the one who cannot control their thoughts will never control their destiny, but the one who aligns their mind with God's truth becomes dangerous to limitations. The weapon you carry does not require approval, it does not need permission, and it does not wait for perfect conditions. It operates in chaos, in uncertainty, in darkness, because that is where it was designed to shine. Every challenge you face is not evidence of opposition, it is evidence of potential, because the enemy does not fight what poses no threat. And the resistance you feel is confirmation that there is something powerful inside you that must be stopped. Stop asking why life is hard and start asking what God is developing in you through it. Because pressure does not destroy what God has placed inside you, it reveals it, and when faith is tested, it emerges refined, focused, and unstoppable. You must stop seeing delays as denials and start seeing them as preparation, because God never releases power without responsibility. And what He is building in you now is the capacity to carry what He is about to place in your hands. The weapon you carry cannot be taken from you, but it can be neglected. And neglect is the silent enemy of destiny, because what you do not use, you lose sensitivity to, and what you lose sensitivity to, you stop valuing. God is calling you to rise, not emotionally, but spiritually, to take your position to speak with authority, to believe without compromise, and to walk as one who knows that the unseen governs the seen. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to stand out, not for attention, but for impact. Because when you walk in faith, your life becomes a message, your peace becomes a testimony, and your confidence becomes a signal that God is real and active. The weapon you carry does not shout, it declares, it does not argue, it establishes, it does not panic, it commands. And when you understand this, you stop explaining yourself to doubters and start moving forward with quiet certainty. God has already gone ahead of you, already prepared the ground, already weakened the opposition, and all He is waiting for is your agreement. Because agreement activates authority, and authority releases movement. You must stop underestimating the power of what you say in faith, because heaven listens when you speak in alignment with God, and the unseen rearranges itself to support what has been declared. This is not poetry, this is reality. This is how the unseen operates. And those who understand it do not live in fear of the future, because they know they carry the means to shape it. The weapon you carry is not for display, it is for use, not in anger, not in pride, but in faith, humility, and obedience. Because power without alignment becomes destructive, but power submitted to God becomes transformational. You are not late, you are not behind, and you are not forgotten. You are being positioned, sharpened, and prepared. And when the moment comes, you will not need to search for power, because you will realize it has been within you all along. God is not asking you to become something new. He is asking you to awaken to what He already placed inside you. Because awakening changes everything. It changes how you see obstacles, how you speak to Charlie, Angie, ease, and how you stand in the face of uncertainty. The weapon you carry does not eliminate effort. It gives it direction. It does not remove struggle. It gives it meaning. And when you understand this, you stop complaining about the process and start embracing it. Every word spoken in faith is a seed, and seeds do not look like forests, but they carry them. And if you remain faithful in speaking, believing, and acting, you will see what was once invisible become undeniable. God is calling you higher, deeper, stronger, not because He needs you, but because the world needs what He placed inside you. And if you remain silent, something meant to be released through, you will remain locked away. You were created for impact, not survival, for influence, not insignificance. And the weapon you carry proves that God never intended for you to live at the mercy of circumstances. Rise in your spirit, align your words, fix your thoughts, and walk forward with confidence. Because when faith leads, fear follows behind, powerless and defeated. And as you continue to speak, believe, and move, you will begin to see walls fall, paths open, and strength rise in places where weakness once lived. Because the weapon you carry responds to faith, grows with use, and moves with authority. And as long as you remain aligned with God, nothing meant for you will be able to stand in your way as you step forward carrying what no human hand could ever create and no enemy could ever destroy. And the more you walk in this awareness, the more you will realize that what you thought was survival was actually preparation, and what you thought was delay was actually alignment, and what you thought was weakness was the very place where God was strengthening the weapon within you as you continue to stand, speak, believe, and move, knowing that the unseen is responding even now as you walk forward without fear. Why? Without retreat and without hesitation, because God has already gone before you, and what you carry is already active, moving, shifting, and preparing the way ahead. What you carry within you was never meant to be understood by logic alone, because logic bows where faith stands, and reason retreats where divine authority advances. And God has hidden this weapon in the unseen realm, so that only those who trust Him fully can activate it, because if it could be accessed by intellect alone, pride would corrupt it and fear would misuse it. but God entrusted it only to faith, because faith keeps the heart humble while the power remains absolute. You must realize that the greatest danger is not opposition from the outside, but confusion on the inside. Because when the inner world is divided, power leaks away, and God is calling you to alignment, not with people, not with opinions, but with His truth. Because alignment sharpens the weapon you carry and gives it precision instead of chaos. There are moments when God allows silence, not because He is absent, but because He is teaching you to trust what He has already placed inside you. Because dependence matures into authority only when you stop asking for reassurance and start walking in conviction. And conviction is the language that the unseen realm understands clearly. Many have mistaken God's patience for delay and His silence for absence, but understand this deeply: God is never idle. He is always working beneath the surface, strengthening roots before revealing fruit, and the weapon you carry is being conditioned to function under pressure. Because power that collapses under resistance is not power, it is illusion. You were not chosen because you were strong. You were strengthened because you were chosen, and this distinction matters because it means your confidence does not come from self-evaluation, it comes from divine purpose. And purpose gives endurance when emotion fails. God has allowed you to walk through seasons where your strength felt insufficient, so that you would stop trusting what you could measure and start trusting what He had already deposited in you. Because once you learn to rely on what cannot be seen, what is seen loses its ability to intimidate you. The weapon you carry does not operate on urgency. It operates on certainty. And certainty comes when you stop negotiating with fear and start declaring truth. Because fear thrives in uncertainty, but it withers when confronted by unwavering belief. You are not meant to spend your life reacting to what happens around you. You are meant to release what has been built within you, because reaction is always late, but faith moves ahead of time, shaping outcomes before they appear. God has given you authority not to dominate others, but to dominate doubt, not to control circumstances, but to speak into them. And when you understand this, you stop trying to escape challenges and start using them as platforms for manifestation. There are words God placed in your spirit long ago that you stopped speaking because circumstances contradicted them. But truth is not canceled by contradiction. It is proven through endurance. And every word spoken in faith carries a lifespan that outlasts temporary opposition. The unseen realm responds not to desperation, but to consistency. And this is why God values perseverance more than bursts of enthusiasm, because endurance proves belief, and belief activates power. You must stop seeing your trials as interruptions and start seeing them as training grounds, because God does not waste pain. He refines purpose through it, and the pressure you feel is not crushing you. It is calibrating the weapon within you. Every time you choose to trust God when nothing makes sense, your faith grows root deeper than circumstance. And roots that grow in darkness produce fruit that cannot be shaken by storms. God is not impressed by your activity. He is moved by your alignment, because aligned faith releases authority effortlessly, while misaligned effort exhausts the soul. There are battles you will never fight physically, because the victory has already been established spiritually. But if you do not stand in agreement with that truth, you will struggle in places where peace was already prepared for you. The weapon you carry is not activated by volume, but by clarity, not by repetition, but by conviction. Because when your words are clear and aligned with God's will, they cut through resistance without effort. You have been taught to ask for signs, but God is asking for obedience, because signs follow those who move, not those who wait. And movement in faith is the signal that activates what He has placed inside you. Stop measuring your progress by visible change alone, because some of the greatest shifts happen internally before they ever appear externally. And when the inner world changes, the outer world eventually has no choice but to follow. God has designed the weapon you carry to operate in agreement with your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And when these three are aligned, power flows without resistance. But when they are divided, strength becomes scattered. You must guard your inner dialogue carefully, because the voice you listen to the most becomes the authority you obey. And if that voice contradicts God's truth, it will weaken your stance no matter how strong you appear outwardly. God is calling you to maturity, not just passion, because passion ignites, but maturity sustains, and sustained faith reshapes destiny. The weapon you carry grows sharper. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, obedience over convenience, and truth over familiarity, because growth always requires separation from what limits you. There will be moments when God asks you to move before you feel ready, to speak before you feel confident, and to act before you feel strong, because readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision to trust Him beyond your understanding. You were not designed to live in cycles of hope and disappointment, but in rhythms of faith and fulfillment. And when you remain consistent, what once felt distant becomes inevitable. God does not reveal the full picture at once, because clarity without trust produces control, but clarity received through faith produces peace. And peace is the environment where the weapon you carry functions best. You must stop revisiting old defeats as if they define you, because past battles do not determine present authority unless you allow them to, and God has already redeemed what once wounded you. The weapon you carry is strengthened by gratitude, because gratitude keeps your heart aligned with provision rather than lack, and lack-centered thinking weakens faith. Every time you acknowledge God's faithfulness, you reinforce your trust, and trust stabilizes authority, allowing you to stand firm even when outcomes are not immediate. God is not preparing you for something small, and that is why the process has been intense, because capacity must match assignment, and what He intends to release through you requires depth, resilience, and unwavering belief. You must stop shrinking your expectations to match your environment and start expanding your vision to match God's promise, because vision aligned with Him becomes a magnet for fulfillment. The weapon you carry does not depend on the approval of others, because validation does not empower destiny, obedience does. And when you obey God fully, you move with a confidence that does not need applause. There will be seesaw. When obedience feels lonely, when faith feels misunderstood, and when standing firm feels costly. But those seasons refine your authority, because compromise weakens power, but commitment sharpens it. God is teaching you to move without rushing and to wait without doubting, because timing is as important as belief, and premature action can dilute impact. The weapon you carry is most effective when your heart is at rest, because rest is not inactivity, it is trust without anxiety, and anxiety fractures focus. You must learn to listen before you speak, to align before you act, and to trust before you see, because spiritual authority flows from stillness as much as from declaration. God has already placed solutions within you for problems you have not yet encountered, because He prepares His servants ahead of time. And when the moment arrives, you will not panic, you will respond. Every challenge that comes to you is already filtered through God's purpose, and nothing reaches you without first passing through His will, which means nothing arrives without a provision already attached. The weapon you carry is not fueled by comparison, because comparison weakens identity, and identity is the foundation of authority. You are not meant to imitate others. You are meant to walk in the unique assignment God designed for you, because duplication dilutes impact, but authenticity multiplies it. God has not called you to explain yourself to those who doubt. He's called you to walk in truth so consistently that explanation becomes unnecessary. The more you trust God, the quieter fear becomes, because fear cannot coexist with certainty, and certainty grows through experience, not theory. You will begin to notice that what once intimidated you no longer moves you, not because circumstances change, but because your awareness did, and awareness is the doorway to authority. God is refining your discernment so that you can distinguish between resistance meant to stop you and resistance meant to strengthen you. Because not every closed door is rejection. Some are redirection. The weapon you carry responds to obedience faster than it responds to desire. Because desire can be emotional, but obedience is deliberate. You must understand that faith is not denial of reality, it is declaration of a higher reality. And when the higher reality is spoken consistently, the lower one must eventually yield. God has placed within you the ability to remain steady when others panicked, to remain hopeful when others retreat, and to remain focused when others scatter, and this steadiness is evidence of the weapon operating within you. As you continue to walk forward, trusting, speaking, believing, and aligning, you will notice that doors open without force, resistance fades without conflict, and provision appears without strain. Because when the weapon you carry is fully aligned with God, life begins to respond to you differently, not because you have changed who God is, but because you have finally understood who you are in Him and continue to move with that awareness, shaping every step, every word, and every decision. As the unseen continues to respond, even now, as you stand unwavering, grounded, and fully aligned with the authority God placed within you, long before you ever realize what you are carrying. Now is the moment God is calling you to stop drifting between belief and hesitation and to stand fully awake to what has always been within you, because awareness demands response and truth demands alignment. And the greatest dishonor to the gift God placed inside you is not failure, it is neglect. It is living as if you are ordinary when heaven has marked you for impact. Examine your life honestly and without excuses, not with condemnation, but with courage, because clarity is the doorway to transformation. And God does not reveal truth to shame you. He reveals it to restore you, to realign you, and to remind you that you were never meant to live beneath what He placed within you. Let every compromise fall away. Let every voice that contradicts God's truth lose its influence. Let every habit that dulls your spirit be confronted, because this is not about comfort, this is about calling, and calling requires surrender before it releases authority. Return to God with intention, not out of fear, but out of reverence. Because closeness to Him is not distance traveled, it is alignment restored. And when your heart is aligned, the weapon within you stands ready, clear, and powerful. Choose today to speak with faith, to walk with conviction, and to live with purpose, not because life is easy, but because God is faithful, and faithfulness is stronger than circumstance, deeper than emotion, and greater than fear. Do not wait for permission to rise. Do not wait for confirmation from the world, because God has already confirmed you by placing His authority within you, and what He entrusts, He expects to be used. Step forward with humility and boldness together, knowing that obedience is your strength, trust is your shield, and faith is the force that shapes your path. And as you walk closer to God, everything within you will begin to align with everything He has already prepared for you. Carry this truth with you into every moment, every decision, every challenge, and every quiet hour, knowing that you are not empty, you are not weak, and you are not alone, because God has already armed you with what this world cannot give and cannot take away. And when you live from that awareness, your life itself becomes a declaration that power, faith, and purpose were always meant to move through you as you walk fully awake, fully aligned, and fully committed to God.
My child, before this week ends, something unexpected is about to unfold in your life. Not a coincidence, not a rumor, but a divine alert. The world may call it a legal battle, but heaven calls it a revelation. So listen closely, because what seems like a lawsuit is not meant to break you. It's meant to awaken you. My beloved, a sudden shift is coming, and it will catch others by surprise. But not you. You are being warned before it arrives, so that you will stand firm while others stumble in panic. The message you're hearing now is not random. It is being delivered at the exact moment you were meant to receive it. What's approaching is not a punishment, but a divine preparation. I need you to stay calm as you hear this. There are people, conversations, and quiet plans moving in hidden corners of your world. Signatures are being formed on papers you haven't seen yet, and your name is being spoken in places you have never stepped into. But do not fear. You are being made aware before the physical evidence appears. That is grace in advance. This isn't about panic. It's about awareness. When the spirit knows before the body sees, peace has already won half the battle. You must understand, this is not chaos. It's divine timing. The unseen realm is adjusting things, and what looks like a lawsuit is only the physical reflection of a spiritual imbalance that's been forming quietly behind you. Those who are preparing this case against you believe they are ahead. They think secrecy gives them control, but they don't know that heaven sees beyond doors, beyond paper, beyond deceit. I see every word written, every whisper shared, every motive hidden. I see the file before it's printed, the signature before it's signed, and the decision before it's made. Nothing they plan in darkness escapes divine awareness. This warning is not to frighten you, but to position you. Fear is not your teacher here. Clarity is. When you walk with clarity, your feet do not shake, your heart does not scatter, and your mind does not spiral. You become anchored, and that anchoring is your power. I'm telling you this before the storm begins, because I want you to walk through next week, not as a victim of surprise, but as a carrier of wisdom. There's nothing random about this moment. Everything is being revealed right now, because you are being shifted into higher discernment. You are being asked to respond, not react. Understand this deeply. Not every battle that reaches you is physical. Some battles start in the spiritual world and disguise themselves as earthly conflicts. This lawsuit is one of those. It is not simply a legal act. It's an expression of jealousy, resentment, and unresolved spiritual energy from others who could not confront you directly. They couldn't fight you in truth, so they fight you through paperwork. They couldn't face your light, so they use shadows as weapons. But listen carefully, this is not their victory. It is your revelation. They are not exposing your weakness. They are exposing their intentions. Those who once smiled in your presence are now revealing the motives they kept hidden behind friendly words. This is what happens when elevation arrives. The truth can no longer stay covered, and I tell you gently, they have miscalculated. They believe this will corner you, but they don't realize you are being surrounded by divine strategy. They think your silence means defeat, but your calm is your greatest defense. They are not after your money, my child. They are after your peace. They do not want your possessions. They want your confidence. Their goal is not to win legally, but to make you crumble emotionally. But that plan will fail, because stillness is stronger than chaos. So breathe deeply right now. Let your breath remind your spirit who is in control. Do not rush. Do not panic. Every time you exhale slowly, you tell the universe you trust divine timing more than human pressure. I did not reveal this message to you by mistake. I revealed it so that when the papers appear, your hands won't shake. So that when your name is mentioned, your voice won't tremble. So that when pressure rises, your mind won't collapse. Because calmness is not weakness. Calmness is authority in motion. The enemy moves in noise. I move in stillness. They plan through confusion. I prepare through clarity. They react in fear. You will act through wisdom. This moment is not meant to destroy your path. It is meant to purify it. You are being separated from energies that cannot follow you into your next season. You are being protected by information, not fear. And that is why this message came early, because divine love always warns before the storm. So as you step into this new week, do not let your heart shake. Do not see yourself as surrounded by enemies. You are surrounded by awareness. Do not see yourself as targeted. You are being refined. Do not ask, why me? Instead say, what is this trying to teach me? You are not walking into next week alone. You are walking under divine supervision. Every step you take will be guided, every word you speak will be supported, and every threat spoken against you will become a testimony in your favor. Remember this, they can prepare their documents, but they cannot prepare for divine interruption. They can gather evidence, but they cannot gather peace. They can shout accusations, but they cannot silence truth. What is being written against you on paper will be rewritten by grace in reality. So, my beloved, hold your ground. Stay calm. This is not your downfall. It is your awakening. The next 7 days are not days of fear. They are 7 days of preparation, 7 days of alignment, 7 days of clarity before the light exposes every hidden plan. You are not just being warned, you are being positioned. The storm that is forming is not coming to break you. It's coming to show you who stands with you and who never did. They believe they've trapped you, but what they don't realize is you're not surrounded by trouble. You're surrounded by purpose. Every move they make in secret is already visible to the eyes of heaven. So, stay calm. What's forming against you is only revealing who you truly are. My child, listen quietly. This message is not about fear. It's about reassurance. The atmosphere around you may feel tense, but what you're feeling is not danger. It's divine movement. The world is shifting around you, aligning unseen protection that others cannot recognize. Those who sit in secret meetings believe they are planning against you, but heaven has already entered their conversations. Every plan built without divine permission carries its own expiration date. Do not waste your peace trying to understand why they do what they do. Jealousy is a language you will never need to learn. Some hearts carry bitterness so deeply that your progress feels like a threat to their comfort. They cannot celebrate your growth because it exposes their stagnation. They cannot honor your light because it reminds them of the darkness they refuse to face. So instead of confronting their own reflection, they choose to project their pain onto you. That projection has now taken the form of a lawsuit. But child, do not let the word lawsuit make you tremble. It is only paper, and paper has no authority over truth. It is not a wall. It's a mirror, showing what they carry inside. They are not proving your guilt. They are revealing their fear. You must understand, spiritual battles often disguise themselves as legal, emotional, or social conflicts. But behind every visible move lies an invisible intention. And right now, those intentions are being exposed. This exposure isn't to embarrass them. It's to prepare you. Because when you know what's coming, panic loses its power. So let this truth anchor inside you. Calmness is not silence, it's strength at rest. Those who are loud often lack stability. Those who shout are trying to convince themselves of control. But when you remain quiet, it's not because you're weak. It's because you know that divine justice doesn't need your noise to operate. I don't want you to fight them the way they expect. They expect panic, confusion, angry words, rushed choices, but you are not walking their path. You are walking mine. Your greatest weapon is stillness. Your peace will frustrate every attempt to provoke you. Your silence will confuse their strategy, and your calm presence will dismantle their energy, because chaos cannot survive where peace has taken authority. My beloved, I did not send you this message so that you would run to protect your name. I sent it so that you would remember who protects it for you. You do not have to scream for truth. Truth has its own voice. You do not have to chase justice. Justice walks with you when you walk in alignment. What they meant to use as a trap will become the very moment that reveals your divine covering. They might believe that the documents they're preparing are solid evidence, but what they don't see is that every false word written carries spiritual weight. and that weight always returns to its sender. Lies do not travel freely. They circle back to their origin. And by the time this unfolds, they will realize that they were never fighting you. They were fighting the divine order protecting you. Stay alert, but not afraid. Be aware, but not anxious. I want your heart still enough to hear direction clearly, because very soon a name will appear, a lawyer, a helper, an ally, the one meant to defend not just your case, but your peace. You won't need to search frantically. You'll feel it, that quiet inner confirmation that whispers, "This is the one." When that name crosses your path, it will not come with chaos. It will come with peace. Peace will be your confirmation. Peace will be your compass. Do not choose quickly out of fear. The right one will not rush you. The right one will bring stillness to your spirit, not noise to your mind. And understand this, your preparation does not mean you are weak. Preparation is not panic, it's wisdom. Even though heaven can fight for you, it sometimes works through human hands. The one who defends you on earth will be guided by divine wisdom from above. You don't need someone loud or famous. You need someone wise and spiritually aware. I will align this person with you in perfect timing. You see, my child, the lawsuit they're building is not really about winning. It's about wearing you down emotionally. They want to test your endurance. They want to see if pressure can make you lose your balance. But they will be disappointed because your balance is no longer built on human stability. It's built on divine peace, a peace that does not crack under weight. When others panic, you will remain still. When others fear, you will breathe deeply. When others lose sleep, you will rest. Because you know something they don't. Calmness is divine authority dressed in silence. And remember this truth, the more peaceful you remain, the less power their chaos has. Energy feeds on reaction. Do not give them your reaction. Give them your stillness. Stillness starves chaos. Stillness weakens manipulation. Stillness invites miracles. They are preparing in secret, but I am preparing openly in your soul. What I am forming inside you is greater than what they are forming outside you. What I'm building in your awareness will dismantle their false confidence. Their unity in darkness cannot compete with your alignment in light. So tonight, rest your mind. Tomorrow, walk slowly. Speak carefully. Listen deeply. Let peace lead your steps. Every move made against you will eventually serve you. Every plan meant to harm will unfold into revelation. Every false word will echo truth when the time comes. This week, your strength will not be loud, it will be calm. And calmness, my child, is the sound of heaven winning silently. Sometimes, the greatest blessings wear the disguise of betrayal. What feels like an attack may actually be heaven revealing the truth. You think this lawsuit is meant to break you, but in reality, it's about to show you who truly stands beside you and who never did. My child, I need you to listen with your heart open. The storm that's forming is not against you. It's for you. It's the divine hand pulling away the curtain that's been covering the truth for far too long. This lawsuit is not a punishment. It is a spiritual spotlight, and that light is about to reveal everything that's been hidden behind polite smiles and empty promises. You have been surrounded by energies that have pretended to care for you. Some people have worn masks so convincing that even your spirit grew tired, trying to discern their intentions. But this moment, this sudden legal move, is not random. It is heaven's way of letting every mask fall. It is exposure disguised as confrontation. They think they are revealing your weakness, but they are only revealing their character. They think they are uncovering your flaws, but they are uncovering their motives. Because no one chooses to hurt without showing what lives inside them. Every action taken against you is actually a confession of their spirit. Do not panic when truth begins to unfold. Exposure can feel painful at first, but clarity always arrives wrapped in discomfort. You may lose some relationships, some trust, even some peace temporarily. But that loss is protection in disguise. You cannot carry false connections into your future. You cannot rise while surrounded by hidden resentment. This lawsuit is not about law. It's about truth being unveiled. Every document filed, every conversation held, every whisper spoken is being used by the divine to pull back the curtain. And what you will see will not just surprise you, it will free you. Child, I know you feel tired. You may wonder, why must revelation come through pain? Because truth rarely appears in comfort. Comfort protects illusion, but conflict exposes reality. Some people can only show their true nature when pressure enters the room. Without resistance, deception can survive quietly. But when light meets darkness, the truth has no choice but to speak. Understand this, their actions are not a reflection of your worth. They are a reflection of their wounds. You have done nothing to deserve betrayal. You simply carry a presence that threatens their insecurity. Your growth reminds them of where they've refused to grow. Your peace unsettles their chaos. Your rising makes their stagnation visible. That's why they want to stop you, because your existence mirrors what they deny within themselves. This is not personal, it's spiritual friction. When divine energy expands, it disturbs every false vibration around it. The moment you stepped into purpose, those who lived in pretense started feeling exposed. Now they're reacting not to your actions, but to your energy. Their jealousy has taken physical form, and that form is this lawsuit. But breathe, my beloved. What they are building cannot break you, because it is not built on truth. Lies do not last long in divine light. The same hands that try to trap you will eventually get caught in their own web. That's the nature of deception. It destroys its creator. Every document forged in ill intent will crumble under truth's weight. Every false story whispered in secret will echo back as confession. I do not bring this message to make you bitter. Bitterness is a poison that destroys the vessel that carries it. I bring this to bring you understanding, because understanding keeps your heart soft while your eyes stay open. When you understand that this is not about you doing wrong, but about others refusing to grow, you will walk through this moment without hate. You will walk with wisdom instead. Wisdom does not rush to defend. Wisdom observes. It listens. It waits for the right moment to speak. Wisdom knows that those who act from jealousy always reveal themselves in time, not because you expose them, but because their own ego demands attention. Those who operate in darkness crave recognition. They cannot hide forever. Their need to feel powerful will force them to step into the light, and when they do, they will unmask themselves. So, hold your peace. Let time do the revealing. Let truth do the fighting. You are not required to expose anyone. Truth will handle that. Your only task is to stay aligned, stable, and calm. These coming days will not be days of collapse, but days of spiritual clarity. Every word spoken against you will become proof of divine justice. Every person who stands against you will unknowingly assist in your elevation. Every false friend that walks away is making space for true support to enter. Do not see this moment as loss. See it as cleansing. You are not losing people. You are losing pretenders. You are not losing peace. You are losing confusion disguised as peace. This lawsuit is the universe's way of removing what no longer fits your destiny. It's divine correction, not punishment. I know it feels unfair, but in spiritual law, revelation always precedes restoration. You cannot be restored to your rightful path until truth clears the way. So while others see chaos, you must see cleansing. While others see betrayal, you must see freedom. While others see endings, heaven sees beginnings. My child, this is your transition point. The world around you may appear unstable, but your spirit is being fortified. You're not being torn down, you're being refined. You are being prepared for higher ground, and higher ground always requires lighter baggage. That's why the false must fall away first. When it feels like everything is being stripped from you, remember, only what isn't meant for you can be removed. What is truly yours cannot be taken by papers, lies, or plots. It is protected by divine law, a law higher than any earthly system. So breathe, stand still, and know this. You are not walking through exposure, you are walking into freedom. The storm is not against you, it's working for you. What they meant for harm will turn into your proof of protection. When this ends, they will not just see your strength, they will see who truly stands with you. They think this is your ending, but heaven calls it your unveiling. What they planned as your downfall will soon be remembered as the very moment you rose higher. Stay still, my child. The same storm meant to shake you is about to announce your victory. My beloved, the time for fear has passed. You are no longer standing on uncertain ground. The wind that once carried anxiety now carries divine strength. Every step you take from this point forward is not a step into battle. It's a step into revelation. The storm that was meant to scatter you will instead reveal what was hidden and restore what was taken. You have walked through confusion and stood firm through whispers. You have felt the weight of lies pressing against your peace, but not once did your faith collapse. That endurance is not accidental. It is evidence of divine supervision. Every breath you took in calmness has been your victory in silence. My child, what is forming next week will not surprise heaven. While they've been filling out paperwork, heaven has been filling your spirit with power. While they've been plotting behind closed doors, angels have been aligning events in your favor. You are not walking into this moment blind. You are walking in divine foresight. Do not think that the outcome depends on how loud they speak or how strong their evidence looks. Paper cannot overpower purpose. Systems cannot override destiny. What they have written against you in ink will soon be rewritten by truth in light. And when truth enters the room, every shadow loses form. This is not the week of your defeat. This is the week of your defining. Every courtroom, every document, every word said about you is about to become a stage for divine testimony. What they intended to shame you will elevate you. What they tried to use as proof against you will become the proof of your protection. Do not rush to defend yourself. Divine justice does not need your panic. It needs your patience. Let peace be your language and stillness your shield. Speak only when guided, and every word you release will carry weight beyond measure. When you enter that moment, you won't speak as a victim. You will speak as someone backed by heaven. Listen closely, my child. They think they control the narrative, but they do not write your story. Every destiny written in divine ink cannot be erased by human hands. They can try to delay it, but they cannot destroy it. What belongs to you is spiritually sealed. Even if they stand in unity against you, they will find their plans dissolving in confusion. Because heaven does not measure power by numbers, it measures by truth. They started early, but you are guided eternally. They gathered in secret, but you are protected in light. They depend on evidence. You depend on divine presence. Every plan against you has a limit, and that limit is the moment divine intervention steps in. The hand that created the storm will silence it when your purpose has been revealed. Because storms never come to end you. They come to expose what cannot be shaken. So when the pressure rises, do not see yourself as under attack. See yourself as being refined. Pressure only destroys what is unstable. It purifies what is strong. This is your purification moment. This is where every layer of fear, doubt, and false belief burns away, leaving only the pure awareness of who you truly are, unbreakable, protected, chosen. You are not entering next week with trembling hands. You are entering it with quiet confidence. The peace that surrounds you now is not ordinary peace. It's the calmness that exists before victory. You've already won in the spirit before the first argument begins. Remember what I told you earlier. The right helper, the right lawyer, the right guide will appear, and when they do, you will know it not by how they sound, but by how they make your spirit feel. There will be peace in their name, peace in their presence, peace in your decision. Follow that peace. It is the voice of divine direction, and while others are preparing their arguments, I am preparing your testimony. They will believe they are exposing your flaws, but in that very space, truth will expose their motives. The same stage they built for your embarrassment will become the platform for your transformation. My beloved, I need you to hold this truth gently. No accusation can overpower divine alignment. No human plot can outthink spiritual order. No storm can silence a destiny already spoken by heaven. They will speak loudly. Let them. They will act confidently. Let them. Because by the time they realize the depth of your protection, the battle will already be over. You are not being prepared to survive. You are being prepared to reign. This challenge will not shrink you. It will reveal how deeply rooted you truly are. Your calmness is not a passive silence. It's divine authority in action. When this week ends, the same people who doubted you will witness something they cannot explain. They will see that no matter how well they organized, their plans fell apart without a visible reason. That reason will be invisible grace, the kind that protects quietly but powerfully. And when it's all over, I want you to remember this. You did not lose anything that was truly yours. You did not fight alone for even a second. You did not stand by chance. You stood by purpose. The papers they filed will soon become irrelevant, but the peace you gained will last forever. What seemed like a case against you was actually a lesson for them. Every injustice eventually collapses under the weight of truth. Every hidden agenda eventually exposes itself through failure. That is divine law, unbreakable, unstoppable, unchanging. So breathe, child. Let your shoulders drop. Let peace settle in your bones. This is not the end of your story. It is the moment heaven turns the page. The trap they built for you is already transforming into your testimony. The storm they sent to drown you is now carrying you to new shores. Do not walk in fear. Walk in awareness. Do not beg for mercy. Walk in assurance. Do not look back in anger. Look forward in confidence. For I have gone ahead of you. I have seen the outcome, and I tell you clearly, you win. Not because of strategy, but because of alignment. Not because of evidence, but because of truth. Not because of luck, but because of divine design. The final outcome will not be written by their hands. It will be sealed by mine.